All right, have and have not fans. Now, a lot of things have been going on in the media recently regarding the cast members of the show. Like, it doesn't seem like there's not a day that goes by without one of the cast members being posted about in an article, or I see them on Instagram or Twitter saying that they're going for an audition or they've secured a role in the show. So first of all, to all of the haves and the have cast members that have either left the show or that are still on the show doing big things, by all means, congratulations. But it is sad because, to me, seeing these cast members being accepted in their new roles is almost like being in high school during senior year and friends of yours that you enjoy seeing all the time have been accepted into different colleges. That's what I'm feeling right now, because strangely enough, the show isn't off the air yet. It's not 2020. It's still 2018. Well, mind you, it is like almost the middle of April. So in a couple of months, we're going to be halfway through 2018, believe it or not. So that's kind of weird to think about. But I'm just talking about the fact that, guys, it's getting to the point where, you know what, the haves and the have-nots is coming to an end, and it is a reality. So it is a tough pill to swallow. I mean, I'm just sitting here just thinking about the fact that, wow, in a couple years, that'll be it. That'll be a wrap. So what we could do and what we should do is just enjoy the show while we have it. But the problem is, it is kind of hard to enjoy the show when there's just a lot wrong with it. But hopefully the back half of the season will make up for the first 10 episode shortcomings. But when it comes to this video, I want to talk about something that I might do more videos on, but I just want to get an open discussion going in the comments. Do you feel like Tyler Perry is going to write an epilogue for the haves and the have-nots? You know, by epilogue, I mean something that's going to happen maybe during the final episode where they wrap things up, whether it be an entire episode dedicated to dotting every T and, you know, crossing every I know I've said that, you know, kind of backwards, but the plot line has been backwards on the show for quite some time, so I feel like I can do the same thing. But I feel like maybe a time skip is exactly what they need. Like maybe in the final scene of the haves and the have-nots, before that time skip, we can have, you know, people in court, you know, for like the murder of Quincy and Little Lizzie, and I know we get Jennifer Salison, pretty much kind of at least hinting at the outcomes of all these big crimes that have gone down in the show, but nobody seems to be punished for them. And then doing a time jump, it's like, you know, does Jeffrey ever find love? You know, does Veronica, what happens to her? What about Wyatt? Does he go to rehab or jail? And the list continues. I'm just mentioning a couple characters. Does Charles win the White House election? There's just so much to think about, because the show is still in 2013, which is crazy to think. You know, it would be pretty interesting if in the epilogue of the show, Tyler Perry fast forwards to 2020. I think that would be a very interesting thing, where the ending of the show during the epilogue is exactly what it would be in the present. You know, like basically if it's October 2020 when the final episode airs, that's when the show will skip to. It would go from 2013 to October, or at least the year 2020. I think that would be pretty interesting, because if the show ever does come back on the air, then they could just say, oh, we're bringing the show back, and there's going to be a time jump. So, you know, the show's epilogue was 2020. So when it comes back on in 2022, that's the year we'll set it in. That would be pretty interesting. I would like that a lot. And another thing they can do is either by having an epilogue or a time skip, you can definitely show us what went down. The thing about a time skip that is beautiful but also kind of frustrating is if you do a time skip, show us the results of storylines that you didn't show us resolved on screen. I feel like that's something Tyler Perry should do, because at the rate of the show's pacing, I honestly do not see how he can finish off and resolve all these plots and storylines that have not been mentioned since like season 2 within the next season or so. I really don't see how it's possible. I mean, could it be done? Yes, but would it be done in a way that's good and ties everything together? I'm not so sure, but I mean, that's just me talking now. Maybe in 2 years I'll be eating my, you know, egg on my face, but I think that Tyler Perry should definitely consider doing some kind of time skip as the show reaches the final episodes, because there's just so much that needs to be resolved. I mean, it feels like we're still dragging on from stuff in like season 3 and season 2 into season 6. Not to mention we're adding on all these new characters and storylines and plots that really have nothing to do with the established storylines that we haven't even resolved in the first place. I mean, sure, I mean, you can wrap it all together with a nice bow, but the show really isn't big on consistency, and that's something that's wrong with a show that's definitely based off of story rather than just, you know, action. So with that being said, in the comment section below, if there is any sort of ending for the haves and the have-nots in 2020, would you like it to be like a time jump where they jump maybe 5 years or so, showing us the characters from where they ended off? Or do you feel like they're just going to cut the show right where it is? Like, you know, it's going to end on the episode it ends on. There's not going to be any kind of time skip, and that's going to be that. So with that being said, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I have more videos on the way before May 1st, and I'll talk to you soon.